There we go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. It truly is a pleasure getting to consciously evolve alongside you again. Today's stream topic was inspired by last night for me, where I was settling in for sleep. I watched a bunch of episodes of Star Wars Prodigy. It's a kid's show, but it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. Love it so much. And I did eat some chocolates, and I knew there was something in those chocolates other than chocolates. And I had a good time. But there was, during the whole of it, this low hum, kind of like like a fallingness, like a sense of mild anxiety, maybe slight alertness. And it was kind of unnoticed in a weird way. Like for the longest time, or for the most of the night, I felt it, but I didn't know what I was feeling, if that makes any sense. Right? Like there was a real sensation being had, but I felt like it was more the experience I was having than me having an experience. That doesn't make sense, Mel? It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Essentially, what I'm saying is, I was feeling this state of anxiety, this state of like heaviness of breathing, right? Like you're like you just fell, or you almost just fell, and then you caught yourself before you actually hit the ground, and that state of like over and over again for me. And then I'm eventually in bed trying to sleep, and I still have this experience, right? And initially, it started with me being like, it's because of this experience I'm having that I'm feeling this way. And then the experience continued, and then I was like associating, linking the experience to the show I was watching. Because they are very Star Trek. So Star Trek, putting you in these precarious positions, making you feel things, making you angry, making you sad, making you question, making you say what ifs, making you say no, not like that, right? All of these experiences. And I was like, yeah, maybe it's this show that's causing this mild state of anxiety or whatever. And then I was like, no, I don't think it's that either, because I was laying in bed, not watching the show anymore, and I was still feeling that. And it was almost like this moment of realizing, because at that point I no longer had any external stimuli, that I was the one doing it to myself. And there very much was like this sense of relaxing, letting go, letting go of this tension, this I was holding on to. And it was almost like I was holding on to like a dangling like a dangling rope, right? And there was like hot stuff on the ground, and I was like holding onto the rope, like tensing myself up, keeping my legs from touching the floor because the floor is lava or whatever, right? And then suddenly I put my feet down and I realized there's no lava, and the sense of relief and relaxation and like comes over my body as I feel that. Another analogy, it's almost like keeping your pants up, you know? Maybe you're lifting the sleeves, the pipes, the pipes of your pants, so they don't get like full of mud while you're walking through mud, right? And then there is this one person who just walks with their long pants. And then you can zoom in super close and you can watch those pant seams just get like super close to the mud, like super duper close to the mud, but not actually touching the mud. not actually touching the mud. That level of trust, right? That deep sense of like, this is gonna be fine. I'm fine. And the softening that came with that. And I don't know if I want to share it as a topic, if I want to share it as an idea, as a capability, a possibility for all of us. But thank you. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for trusting me enough of your time to stay. It is greatly appreciated. Chauvin, so nice having you here. Love it. Mojo, sending you blessings. I lost my absolute favorite hat last night at the fireworks. It's been with me through hundreds of miles of hiking and so many countless hours of work. I went back to look for it in the field this morning. Totally gone. I'm way more sad about it than I should be, but it was just so perfect in every way, and it will take years for me to break in another one. They look so doofy until you do. Oh, Floppy, you will be missed, but thank you for decades of protection and companionship. Bless you, bro. I don't know if you know this creator, Bo Miles. Do you know Bo Miles? He looks like so. Bo Miles is an incredible person, and you need to go and watch his videos. But he has a video about losing his hat, about losing one of his favorite hats. Okay, I don't know if he lost it, but I just like just hearing you say these things made me think about this guy. And I'm sending you a direct message. Mm. There you go, bro. One last run for the best hat ever made. He also had that hat for something like a decade plus, and it is pretty beautiful watching him. I do not know Bo. Well, get introduced, bro. I think you'd like him. You probably relate to him a lot, man. I do not know what this train is called. It is something gifted to me. You have a link now, at least in your Discord, so shouldn't be too hard. And that specific video might be a good place to start, especially since it's fresh in your mind, having lost hat. Huh. I feel like kind of bottleneck. Hooray for Mystery Week. It's not bad by any means in that way. Right, quite the contrary, actually. It looks gorgeous. This is the bud that was gifted to me by Crops. He's a DJ and a tattoo artist and cultivator. And he doesn't smoke himself anymore. He himself does no longer smokes. And the reason for that is because of his environment. He works with these plants and he has like warehouses full of them, right? And he mentions that the terpenes are so strong inside that building that you do not need to smoke anymore. You get more than enough of the medicine. Today is our Independence Day. Is that true? It is 4th of July. Well, happy Independence Day, American friends. I'm gonna light up my firecracker. I think it works. It does have firecracker aesthetics. Mm. I do like that. I don't know how many things I'm tasting right now. I'm tasting some OG Kush in there, but so much fruit that they feel like it feels like I'm vaping two different weeds at the same time. It's very nice. It is very, very nice. It stays very nice. Right to the end. The end is a little bit more licoricey, but it started off with like berry, fruity, like mangoey, like very like fruit salad flavors, alongside OG Kush, right? Like very herbal, cushy flavors, like you're smoking weed kind of vibe. And it was like confusing to my brain almost because it felt very much like they were on opposite sides of the spectrum, but they were working together. And then it transitioned into like a little bit more of that savory flavor, like baked goods. I'm still like my mouth is coated with like I just ate some cookies, like shortbread. Like I just ate some really good shortbread that was flavored with like caramelized berries and maybe some herbs. That's so nice. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, yeah. I was wondering if I could go a little bit more. Actually, doesn't look bad. Smells really interesting afterwards as well. Hmm. I am now in the stage where my brain is integrating the experience. And the thing that my brain is the most fascinated by is how much of that is staying with me. It's like it's like I'm submerged. It's like I'm submerged. It's like I'm in a kitchen where something really nice is being cooked, and all of that aroma and that scent is like filling the space, and you're just like every inhale is just filled with that experience. That's still what I'm having right now after that hit. Hooray for Mr. Bless. Joy, best president we ever had, said that. Today's our Independence Day. He said that. Mr. Bill Pullman. Hi, all. Happy birthday, America. Hey, Nancy. Bless you, friend. It's nice having you here, too. We have the French to thank. They bankrolled us against the British. I didn't know that. Little tidbit. Yeah. So we should all be saying thank you, French, on Independence Day. That's how it works, right? Americans lose their minds. No melt, it's just a consummate pothead and weed snob. He's hella into it. Wait a second. What's up with the weed reviews every day? Is this a revenue generating thing? No. No. Jeez. That would be nice though. Maybe at some point. Maybe at some point it could generate revenue. But right now it's just like an experience. Right? And it's kind of odd to me that I'm unwilling to eat food in front of you, but that is something I am willing to do. And it does end up being like kind of foodie descriptors. So we're skirting a line definitely. But no, it's just like an experience thing for me. It's like me taking you to a festival. It's like me taking you home, right? And then showing you the different environment. It's like that. But only it's an experience that I invite into mine. And then because I invite that experience in, I get to give you an experience that you invite in. And there is more to be experienced with more context, I believe. You can make more connections, you can draw up patterns a little bit more effectively. And we like doing that as people, so yeah, it's just fun. It is fun. I enjoy it. It's the Canada Day, celebrates its new aggressive but lovable neighbor. We don't hold against you, Zano. Canada didn't get no independence. We love you, Zano. Thank you for joining us. If nothing else, I bet it gets melt. A ton of free weed. Uh, I mean, a ton is relative. I get like a nug a week to try because of the weed reviews. So every week now, I have been allowed to vape a new weed. Right? Some of them I have tried before, but in that way, I like trying them again because I enjoyed them the first time, and now I get to come back to it. And I particularly like, and maybe it's just my autisms want to like put things in little boxes, but I particularly like being able to vape a strain again and it tasting the way that it tastes kind of vibe, right? It's like you you go to the store and you buy yourself a certain flavored ice cream or drink, right? And then you open it and it tastes the way it's supposed to taste, right? Like you can have that with certain strains as well. There is pheno differences, but it's very cool to me that there is like distinction that you can try something and be like, this is like this, right? Your brain instantly makes connections, and I like that. I like it when my brain make connections. It is fun. Free week for the win. Yeah. To Lafayette, the Frenchman who loved us. Bless him. Melt, I can sense the incoming eye roll with the Antwoord. It's coming to Chicago in October. I think I'm going to have to go just to get close to South Africans. Yes, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Because that's not exactly the kind of South African you want to be close to, kind of vibe. Right, right. You do know. You do know. There's things to be known, right? I'll say that much. I'm now realizing that all of my tussles are like tied, and it's almost like by the will of God, they've been staying on. Like I am tying them, like what feels like for the first time properly. That one is good. These things are not gonna stay on my scars. Probably not. Mm-mm. They will probably go flying at some point because I will disintegrate them. Boom, new word made. When you dance so hard, your clothing disintegrates. That's how you know it's a good time. But look at some of these. Proceeds to overexpose this shot into oblivion. Like, how is that staying on there? Stay, I say. I'm 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 fine. I'm fine. I'm totally not distracting us from the Antwoord. Are they considered ratchet in South Africa, the Antwoord? Uh, yeah, something like that. I don't know if ratchet. It is, yeah. I think ratchet probably would be the appropriate word, but that feels just so degrading and harsh to say. It's like they're they're kind of like leaning into the shock value, right? And that's their thing. But then there's also, like their behavior outside of the thing. That's like questionable. How can I say this? Well-meaning people in South Africa do not associate or listen to that band kind of thing, right? You won't see like a bunch of well-dressed Christian people get out of their car, and as soon as the doors open up, the Antwoord comes flying out as sound, right? Not gonna happen. Oh, no. Can Canadians go and live in the UK for however long they want without having to worry about visas? I don't know. Freedom, 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 away, freedom, freedom, freedom. Away. Freedoming, no Canadians, bless, no need, no still need visas. Are they considered ratchet? Yeah, they're just kind of considered like a blemish. Kind of considered a blemish. Like I'm trying to like make an analogy, but I feel like all of the ones I can make are kind of mean. And the Antwoord is kind of like that kid in school that would like staple his own arm. You ever had a kid in school like that? I had multiple kids in my class like that. Never mind my school. They would like staple their own arms, and then you would like see the flat staple kind of like flush with their skin, and they pull them out again. Right. The Antwoord is kind of like that kid at school that starts bringing alcohol when they're still 13. The Antwoord is kind of like that kid. That's kind of the vibe, right? And like, yeah, they're part of the school that is South Africa. Like, they're one of those kids, right? And I was probably considered one of those kids as well, but at least I don't, I don't go as far. Melt, you look extra pretty today. Thank you, Joy B. That's super nice. I've been like overexposed the whole time, so I haven't been able to see myself properly. So maybe that's why. Maybe that helps. But I like Ratchet. Lol. Either way, live music is a trip. I bet they are a sight to behold. Yeah, I mean, it's your money. You get to spend it how you spend it. I don't know what their tickets are gonna cost, but I've heard your tickets in America costing a lot. It's not the kind of thing you take your child to. Please, I don't trust you intend to, but I do know you have a child. Please do not take her to that event. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll ask if I'm going to make any strong asks. All right. I think I'm gonna go and get my cards. I am extremely blazed. Like that hit it more than I was kind of marketing for. I mean the cash, the clash, the clash were considered a blemish, and one would argue Johnny Rotten, he's done some good stuff for punk rock. Yeah, of course, the Clash. Yes, of course. I know. I come from punk and metal, plenty of unsavory individuals. Yeah, yeah. Take a look. Take a look at like today's stream topic was about about kind of like relaxing into that state of trust. And I think we had a stream, wasn't it yesterday? It's about rest. Was it yesterday? Goodness. The days melt together. It was day before yesterday. Just day before yesterday. Alrighty. Against my advisors, I asked them, "You think this is a good idea?" And they were like, "Nay, nay, it's not a good idea. I'm gonna still do it." There's still there's still a little bit of buttsicles left here. I'm only gonna do a little bit of it though, so I can have a little bit later. There's still more of the nug left, but you don't have to stack your Dynavap to the fullest. The Clash is better than the Sex Pistols. I've heard about the Sex Pistols, but I never listened to any of their music. Hide your wife, hide your kids. Anyone that says the Clash is a blemish is not worth listening to. I fortunately don't know them, so I feel like I'm kind of scot free. Mojo, I honestly don't care for either. Hmm. The unsavory character. To Sum 41. Maybe Three Doors Down. I don't know if they were unsavory, but their music was pretty aggressive. So I guess I get it a little bit. But it's still like a messaging thing, I guess. And never mind the bollocks. It's a great album, but SP didn't last long. I don't know what those words mean. The ticket price totally depends on venue. I don't pay over $30 for them. You act like I've never heard them before, lol. Aware of their content. Duckling would be horrified. Yeah. Rightly so. It is horrifying. You know, all of us have inner children. Like there's a music video of a daughter killing her parents. Just, and that car is like decorated in like profanities. I think the thing that's like really bugging so many South African minds as well about that whole fractal is that it's so much money towards degeneracy, you know. It's like a lot of work towards being degenerate or appearing degenerate. Advertising degeneracy. Like I don't want to get it, I guess. The game life. All right. I feel very tense again. I feel like there's not that I'm in a state of distrust. It's just like I'm hanging on from a rope again. What am I scared on putting my feet down on? Silence. This card is called Stone Stories, and I am very stoned right now, so I feel like it is synchronous. Stoned Stories. Orange. All of these stones have an outline of orange. You see that? So it's almost like you're holding those stones of your prediction. Mm. Stone Stories. Mel, could the weed be making you feel that way? Uh, Maybe. It is like one of those give and takes where it depends. It depends on the strain. And it also depends on the social context where I might be smoking a bit of weed or vaping a bit of weed, and then it affects my systems. And then that effect on my systems affects my output. And then that effect on my output affects you. And then my consideration of that, and my consideration of your interpretation of that, and my consideration of your interpretation of me, and what that makes me look like. And then suddenly I'm holding onto a rope. Holding onto a rope, dangling from silence, right? Because that's the worst thing I can be, is mute. Is that the worst thing I can be? I don't know if that's true, but that's what it feels like, right? So there is this sense, pressure, where if I don't perform well enough, I'm gonna lose you. And then technically, that happens all the time. And I just have to kind of get good or whatever, at being okay with it. So thank you for asking. Good questions, Nancy. Again, I come from punk rock. It was a dependency without the money to back it. It was degeneracy without the money to back it. Orange, bless again. Same duck. I see a fair amount of indie bands, so I refuse to pay for those crazy expensive big band shows. Yeah. I feel like I've never seen this one before. Really? It is one we don't pull a lot, and it's one that usually I just it's calling you to listen to the rocks, basically. I listen to the rocks. I had to go scrape the land on this day of independence, and per the tradition of my forefathers, I will be not paying taxes to the monarchy or anyone. Joy, I'll pay up to 50 for bands I'll really care about. Never over. I like the big cave art with the swirls on the card. It is pretty nice, right? Bye. And a Barbie, of course. Don't miss the burb. All right. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Only Trump can get away with that, Doug. Yeah, he has immunity. I'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court for my grocery money and say Orange Daddy taught me how. I'm gonna read this card. Card number 24. Stone Stories. Message. Listening. And hearing. I'm sharing today's message of trust in the universe and how it can bring a state of calm and relaxation and ease your anxieties. Lessen your tensions. But it seems like the message is not being heard by myself. I'm not listening. I'm not listening to myself. Maybe I should listen to the rocks instead. There's a lot of rocks in that area. Like I'm looking at rocks. You want to look at rocks as well? I think it is appropriate if we all look at rocks while I read this card because it is about rocks. So that's how it works. Let me just zoom in, get more rocks. Look at all those rocks. That's a lot of rocks. These petroglyphs were borrowed from a site in a New Mexico site. Let me start over. I'm so sorry. The rocks are speaking. They're crowding my mind. These petroglyphs were borrowed from a site in New Mexico, where some 20,000 petroglyphs have been documented. The step threat geometry embedded in this image mirrors the glyphs in the rock art. Stones and crystals are planetary record keepers. They record ancient wisdom and carry messages from other times and even dimensions. Sites across the planet where petroglyphs abound are often considered holy places. Humans, in co-creation with the divine, have crafted, pecked, or painted stories in stone that remain today as icons of past times. This card asks you to hear the stories that the stones have to tell. What will it take for you to decipher their messages? Seek to quiet your mind and listen with your intuitive senses. Stones reveal meaning when you pay attention and tune into their ancient stories. As you sit with crystals, petroglyphs, and stones at sacred sites or simply in nature, recognize that you will hear their messages when you learn to listen. Finally, this card requests that you understand how learning to listen will improve your ability to understand far more than these stone stories. You are asked to consciously listen and truly hear every facet of creation, including the people around you and the voice of your own heart. Rocks are all day F. Yo, those rocks have been there. Right? Just like, that's why I had to like point you in that direction. Those rocks have been standing there for a long time. For a long, long time. And now suddenly I'm here, looking at those rocks through my eyes. Getting to see those rocks. Getting to listen to what they're saying. How they've been degrading, how they've been shifted and moved, how they've been manipulated by other peoples. Those rocks are talking to me right now. They're saying, they're saying, they're saying like long, inaudible groans. Like a very long, I get it. I'd probably be making those sounds as well if I was billions of years old. Makes sense, bro. I get it. Checks out. Melt must have smoked outer space weed because he's high as the stars, bro. Like, this weed doesn't exist in South Africa. He's not allowed to sell this weed. Like, that is like an explicit part of his whole gig. He grows exclusively for the international market. Right? And then he presents these nugs. And my mind is like, they're like little rocks. They're like little rocks that contain messages inside of them. And I cannot find any of those rocks here in South Africa. I went up to that guy a second time and I asked him for more weed. I never do that. I don't ask anybody for more weed. I don't ask anybody for weed at all. I feel too ashamed. But this bud was so good, I was like, bro, please. Please, sir. I was like, actually, please, sir, can I have some more? I was like verbatim. I walked in front of all of the other kids up to the sir, and I was like, please, can I have some more weeds? And he gave me some, and I've been savoring it. It's almost now 2 weeks. Not exactly. Ah, almost now 2 weeks since the festival is over, so I feel like I'm doing good. And it is definitely an experience. Miss you guys. Bless you, Simon. It's nice having you here. Happy independent. Oh, sorry, he's from the UK. Dogster and the crew. I can't vote. No ID card. I'm imagining like a Rick and Morty moment of like, he's taking his Roy off the grid. His Roy doesn't have an ID card. Bless you, Simon. Now we're just a country that you used to own. We're just blazed. I can assure you the rocks are not talking to you. I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. Are you friends? Are you friends? Like, I know I put on an act like I'm crazy, but I'm actually not. I'm more entertaining than crazy, right? I can see into the moment. I can see what is the most entertaining thing I can do with my limited yes and experience, right? And the whole fractal of reading from the book telling me that I need to listen to the rocks. What does that mean? My mind, to give you an idea, was like at first, listen to the rocks. Look at water degradation. Look at where trees have grown. Look at where biomass has collected in a bunch of different crevasses. Right? That's what my mind was listening to when I was trying to communicate with the rocks. And then my mind was like, nah, dude, you're overcomplicating it. You should think in frequencies. And then I was like, okay, what do you want to say? And then I was like, it probably wants to say, oh. And I'm like, no, checks out, right? So it's not 100% crazy. It's just me giving you like limited output for what's happening inside my mind. Right, right. Eventually, you can see exactly what happens inside my brains, but not right now. No ID card, no votee. Not true. I think it is true. Those might be sea rocks. I don't get that one. As someone who studies the Bible, if the rocks are talking, we're in fucking trouble. I don't know why you think you're not crazy. I think I'm not crazy due to the fact that I am capable. I feel like crazy kind of like hinders capability. Where I feel mine does the exact opposite. My particular variety of sanity makes me very unpredictable. And that unpredictability leads to novelty. And I appreciate that as an experiencer. It's like, yes, this is good. This is nice. Something else. Wow. Life. What an experience. You're totally crazy. You think you're going to live forever and that people should be locked in boxes and starve because it would be good for them. What? What? I think that? Nice. Good to know that that's what I think. I do think that people should want to live forever, not that they will live forever. There's a difference, right? Just to add some more context. And then the second one, I don't think anybody should be locked in boxes and starve. I just think, it could teach people a lot about themselves if that was something that could happen, right? That's what I was thinking, and I wasn't saying that that's condonable. I wasn't saying that's ethical. I was just prosing this logical experiment, like Like the fact that people would choose more pain as a stimulus if they knew what they were getting, right? Like there was a study where there was either a light shock or a more heavy shock, right? And you were holding on to these prongs, and then it would shock you, either lightly or heavily. And more often than not, the study that knew they were going to be light shocked or knew they were going to be heavy shocked uh, were performing better than not knowing, right? And if they could only choose between the study that only shocks them unpredictably or only shocks them aggressively, they choose the aggressive shock, right? And in my mind, again, I don't know about the ethics of all of that, but that study shows me that we as human beings like being challenged if we know what the challenge is. And I think a lot of people, especially those that have never never had to be challenged, gets to be challenged. I think that would be very good for our species. But again, I am not some Saw, like puppet master putting people in boxes and watching them through cameras. I am not, and I will never be. There's no yet. Don't you be like yetting right now. There's no yet. There's no freaking yet. Oh man, I'm sorry. You have to pay to vote in the UK. $25 to vote. What? That is kinda. That is kinda stupid. They made poll taxes illegal here. Good. The crazy folks always think they're sane, and that we're the crazy ones. Then for that joy, they're trying to bring them back with ID requirements, voter purges, and polling places closure joy. Check your registration today, Americans. Yeah, Biden looks dazed and confused, Sam. I vote by mail. I accept the cray cray. Love is true. Don't go there. Probably better not to. Yeah, like as soon as I read the word dazed and confused, my mind was like, I think dazed and confused is like a different fractal. I think Biden is like past dazed and he was probably dazed and confused at some point, but like he's like way past being dazed and confused, right? I think he's more in a daze of confusion now, where dazed and confused is more like you're challenged with what the world is presenting to you. I think that's what that movie was about, right? What the hell is the world doing to me? And what am I supposed to do in return? Dazed and confused. In my mind, when I think about that movie. I'm gonna stop. I'm not a political channel. Love is true. I'm not even a South African. I almost said I'm not even a South African channel. I'm not even, capable of commenting on any of the politics because I'm a South African. Mecca, Lecca, hi Mecca, Heidi ho. Bless you, Bojo. It's nice having you, bro. All right, card has been pulled. I'm going to get a Joe. What's the word of the day? I think you just got it. Hekalaleka. Hi, Mekaladito. Ho. That's the word of the day. It means a sweet tear forms and drips down from my eye when I observe your beauty. That's what it means. Let me say it again. Mekala, Mekaleka, hi Meka Hidiho. So beautiful. Anyone can comment about anything. It's social media. This is true. I think what a lot of you are missing is how Domineer employed Gish galloping to convince you all he isn't as senile as he really is. Go back and watch. Yes. Yes. Yes, things are being said, and I totally know what they mean. In these moments, I actually do feel like AI, where I'm like, bro, I haven't been trained on any of this data, dude. I don't know what's going on. uh, Today, we talked about trusting the universe to the point where it's almost like you get to relax into a seat, right? Like you trust the seat to catch your weight when you sit down onto it. Please help me write a goodbye message and a beautiful but short and articulate poem. I don't know. Sure. Oh, there's a goodbye message already generators. Worky lurky, love you all. Authentic, wholesome humanimals. Hope you have the most beautifulest day. Love you, Joe. I worried he's gonna fall over anytime soon. Yeah, both of them has difficulties that night. But there truly is only so much he could do to refute a fire hose of straight up lies that the moderators did not bother to fact check. On the 4th of July, that's true. Anyway, man, uh, my poem is literally a single bar. It goes, trust the universe, take your seat. Relax, let go, feel the beat. Like a chair that holds your weight. And trust, find peace, and celebrate. That feels that feels so American. Is it just me? That feel maybe I should say trust America. You know, since it is Independence Day. Trust America, take your seat. Relax, let go, feel I should say heat instead of beat. Alright. Feels also pretty American. It is summer for you friends right now. Trust America, take your seat, relax, let go, feel the heat, like a chair that holds your weight, and trust, find peace, and celebrate. And then fire guns in air and shoots fireworks. All right, proceeding. I'm sorry. I'm poking fun because I can from a distance. It's a multidimensional collective of gooey love. Let the love stick to you like taffy. Take a seat, feel the heat. Join me. Oh goodness! Thank goodness I didn't read that sentence out loud. You know, like with confidence. Trust America. Take your seat. Relax. Let go. It's not that funny, but my mind is just like so fried at this point that I don't have any resistance. Oh, have the most beautiful day, everyone. I wholeheartedly love you all. So astoundingly, tremendously, and marvelously, heartwarmingly, profoundly, exceptionally, fantastically, and splendidly, beautifully, touchingly, Mel, and all of you. Oh, so inspiring and understanding. I just lost my message. That's a Marie. Take me back. Yeah, it took me back. No, take me back again. Mm. Splendidly, beautifully, and touching. Melt, and all of you. Oh, so inspiring, understanding and uplifting, compassionate and thoughtful, incredible, loving, caring, amazing, kind friends who trust the universe like a seat that holds you as you relax into its embrace. Mm. Thank you, dear friends, for trusting this space, for showing up for it once again. The heartbeat of creation. I simply meant you should tenderize your steak before the barbecue. Sure. Sure, Joy Vive. I'm sure. Of course. silly us to misinterpret language that has been so bastardized by the internet. Oh, silly me and all of us. Oh, jeez. Love is true. We've said our goodbyes. We've read our cards. Maybe I can beatbox for a bit. Am I false advertising when I say that? No, I think it's more like I'm misleading you. I don't know if that's better. I don't know if that's better. But let me mislead you quickly. I'm gonna do some beatboxing right now. You feel misled? Eat red meat while it's still bleeding. No, please. No, please. Do not eat red meat while it's still bleeding. Liver King is a scam. Where is the ideal shot? Finding myself in a position. This will be it. All right. Beatboxed. Box will beat it. My mind has been very stuck in thinking about stuff. Like I'm thinking about stuff a lot. I want to buy more equipment than I have plans to make money for. Right? As in, there's stuff that I want that costs a lot of money. And like, I didn't really plan on making that kind of money anytime soon. And now my mind is like, how? How can? And you're like, again, the projector mount? Yeah. Yeah. The projector, and I also want line arrays. And 18-inch subwoofers. Not for me. Totally not for me, but for renting, you know. You take them out and then you make beautiful music with good equipment. So like if you have $75,000, hit me up. Obscure band reference, Love is True, The Romanies, Sunset, looks exactly like the Sister Sunshine card. Well, at least you started by turning on ads. Yes. It's gonna start. It's gonna pay like 0.01 percentage at least of the speakers, and then they will forever. Those speakers will forever have encoded into their value chain. Literally you, inside that value chain, literally. Well, at least you started. Let's Flipper, another obscure band reference. Thank you, friends, for joining me for these moments. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Sending you blessings until we do it again.